So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Naeem Hines, his first carry. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Caught here by Griffin. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll try the left side. Grove. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offense.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Naeem Hines, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Has been scoring first, an ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Well, the 2nd down throw on target. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Jet first down. Late in the season now, MVP chatter starts, and he might be on the fringe. This is always an award that goes quarterback, running back, usually quarterback. A lot of bias. Does he deserve consideration?
He more than deserves consideration because the way the game is played in the NFL now, it's a pass-first league, right? So that means that people are going to adjust their defenses for him each and every week, and he's still putting up big-time numbers. I know the quarterbacks, the running backs get it, but he should be firmly in the race for MVP.
Ready. Mike 20, Mike 20, Mike 20. Hey, that's what I do.
On 2nd down now, it's Turner. It looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves him with 7 yards to go on 3rd down.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Watch the screen.
Throwing is Manning on 3rd down. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. From the gun, it's Jackson. He'll have a first down and more past the 20. And all the way up to the 21-yard line. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
They'll run on first down. It's Hines, and he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Big stop, G. Big stop.
Here's Jackson to throw. Stepping up, he's going to keep it.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Here we go again. Here we go again.
Jackson from the shotgun. And an alley to run. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you have to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. They'll run with Allen. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. 3rd down turns to first with that 5-yard pickup.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Elliott good with a PAT. And that'll make the score 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
The Jets take over first and 10.
Let's go!
At their own 25-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise it's
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Now a carry for Allen. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. It's a gain of 3, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, obviously, they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 63 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Now a handoff here to his running back. The excellent play last time is followed by a much more routine gain of 3.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
On 2nd down, it's Hines. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Elliott now to add the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
On 1st down, Turner. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
On 2nd down now. It's Turner. He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Throwing now is Manning to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks for those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Now, that's something of a pick-me-up. The offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Man, I got you. Man, I got you.
Throwing is Jackson. Throw left side complete. It's Griffin. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. But one thing's for sure, they're still taking their shots downfield, even with a big lead.
I think it's way too early to go into a shell, so I like what they're doing. Continue to take your shots. Continue to be aggressive. It's not their job to slow themselves down.
Now a throw left sideline here is complete. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down.
Let's go now. 60 out long. Check. 55 to Mike. Watch the screen.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. Jackson now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. This is Hines. And down inside the 15 he goes. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down. And into the red zone now. And, Charles, they told us offense in the red zone was a focus this week in practice.
A huge priority, and the key was to get points. So you know that all the time during the week they talked about executing, taking care of the football, no big mistakes. Make sure they put points on the board and come out of it with that.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll run. This is Allen. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. On 2nd down, it's Allen. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half as his guys continue to pour it on. Elliott good on the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing? In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
A big loss on the play. Brings up second down.
Here we go. 10 Lobo. 55.
So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A Steeler first down on a pickup of 11 yards. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right, safety valve, throw one to him every so often.
And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Naeem Hines, his second touchdown of the afternoon as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Elliott good with a PAT, and the lead will swell by one more. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Manning now to throw. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Manning. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Fleming. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 37. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. To throw is Manning. Going right side here, and that's complete. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. That one goes for 30 yards.
What? 60 Pittsburgh. And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength.
And they give this time to the tailback. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
No gain on the play. Brings up 3rd and goal.
Another shot here from the 2 as they come up on 3rd and goal. Here's Manning to throw. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. I think here the score dictates you pretty much got to go for it.
But when you look at the scoreboard and you realize that 3 doesn't do you a whole lot of good in this situation, you're exactly right. Dial up one of your better plays and get after it. Forget the field goal kicker. He doesn't matter.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down.
All day, just like that.
Manning indeed going for it on 4th. And this is going to be intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And he will take it on out to the 20-yard line. He has just been a load for opposing offenses to account for. Now 8 interceptions on the year.
I love that number because I always think of center field. You know, when I hear 8, because that's the position you're right in.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. T.J. Watt. He continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. Caught the defense off guard there a bit on 2nd and long, but now you still have to deal with 3rd and long.
Yeah, you do, but you feel pretty good about the last play, don't you? And maybe it gives you a little bit of confidence dialing up the next one, that maybe your team will believe in it when you send it in.
Over the middle, it's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Here's Allen. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They stay on the ground with Allen. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The last 2 plays, each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 15. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They'll run on 1st down. Turner. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Jet 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Turner, and hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
At the 29-yard line.
They keep it on the ground. Allen again. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson. On the crossing route, complete. That's Griffin. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. As his guys are in for 6. And the Steelers capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Elliott good on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards for the Jets there as they've got themselves a 1st down.
First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
On 1st down, Turner. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th.
Here we go.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Now they'll throw it with Manning. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. On 3rd down, it's Turner. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Holton Hill, the one there to bring him down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
The Steelers on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Jackson. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 35. Jackson now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now it's Hines. And some space here. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. That's a gain of 4 as we slip inside of 4 minutes left in regulation.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the 1-yard line.
Second and goal from the 1. Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved. Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on 2nd and goal. Now Allen, and he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown of the game, number 11 on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. Elliott good with a PAT, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
He's checking. Crash. Showing it. Fight.
On 2nd down now, it's Turner. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
90 Wolf. General West. Hey, exit. Get it.
Manning now on 1st down. Trying to lay one up deep. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by David Long. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
It's 2nd and 8 at the 3-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll try the left side. It's Allen, and he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Let's go now. Took the outlaw. Hey, eat.
Yeah, let's get a sack lunch.
On 2nd down, it's Allen. And now where are they going to mark him here? Well, they say he did get back to the 1-yard line, but that could have easily been 2 points the other way. The Steelers on third down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Allen, and he'll take this one up to about the 6-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. They'll run on 1st down. Turner. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. So long, everybody.